This is my first storytelling videos actually, and today's story is The Three Little Pigs. It's retold by Flora and Steele, 1922. Right, there's lots of other version of this story, of course. But the most popular one is from the favorite fairy tales and children's stories. It's a 1904 version. Alright, without a further ado, let's get going. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had three little pigs and not enough food to feed them. So when they were old enough, she sent them out into the world to seek their fortunes. The first pig was very lazy. He didn't want to work at all, but he built his house out of straw. The second little pig worked a little bit harder, but he was somewhat lazy too, and he built his house out of sticks. Then they sang and danced and played together the rest of the day. The third little pig worked hard all day and built his house with bricks. It was a sturdy house complete with a fine fireplace and a chimney. It looked like it could withstand the strongest winds. The next day, a wolf happened to pass by the lane and where three little pigs were lived. And he saw the straw house, and he smelled the pig inside. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. So he knocked down on the door and said, little pig, let me in." But little pig saw the wolf big paws through the keyhole, so he answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on my chinny chin." Then the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed and he puffed and blew the house down. The wolf opened his jaws very wide and bit down as hard as he could. But the first little pig escaped and ran away to hide with the second little pig. The wolf continued down the lane and he passed by the second house made of sticks. And he saw the house and he smelled the pigs inside and his mouth began to water as he thought it's about to get a fine dinner they would make. So he knocked on the door and said, little pig, let me in." But little pig saw the wolf's pointy ears and through the keyhole, so they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chinny chin." So the whole wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed and he puffed and blew the house down. The wolf was greedy and tried to catch both pigs at once, but he was too greedy and got neither. His big jaws clamped down to nothing but air, and two little pigs scrambled away as far as their little hoofs would carry them. The wolf chased them down the lane and almost caught them, but they made it to the brick house and slammed the door closed before the wolf could catch them. The three little pigs, they were very frightened. They knew the wolf wanted to eat them, and that was very, very true. The wolf hadn't eaten all day, and he had worked up a large appetite chasing the pigs around, and he could smell all three of them a little inside, and he knew that the three little pigs would make a lovely feast. So the wolf knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me in, let me in." But little pig saw the wolf's narrow eyes in the keyhole, so they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs our chinny chin chin." So the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll puff and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." Well, he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he huffed and he huffed and he puffed and he puffed, but he could not blow the house down. At last he was out of breath that he couldn't huff, and he couldn't puff any more, so he stopped to rest and to thought a bit. But this was too much. The wolf danced about with rage and swore he would come down to the chimney and eat the little pig for his supper. But while he was climbing to the roof of the little pig made out a blazing fire and put a big wolf on the water boil. Then, just as the wolf was coming down the chimney, the little pig pulled off the lid and plop into water fell into the scalding water. The wolf, he fell on the scalding hot water. So little piggy put the cover again and boiled it all up. And the three little pigs ate him for supper. Well, that's pretty drastic measure. Holy crap! I didn't thought about this. This is really tragic. Wow. Oh, okay, poor wolf. Then I don't know. Pig would eat a wolf. That's a turning table down there. Holy crap! This coming from a children's book. Holy crap! Who made this? Oh well, that's all. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and thank you for listening. Have a good sleep and good night.